All right. We are back with the GSMC Wrestling Laureate podcast brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. I'm your host, Eric Rodriguez, here every Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Pacific time, 11 p.m. Eastern time, talking everything in terms of professional wrestling on the GSMC Sports Network. So, make sure you tune in. Just going to reflect on what we talked about real quick. We had our AEW Dynamite review, and now we're going to jump on into my Thursday night wrestling preview. We'll talk about TNA, also Ring of Honor. But before we do any of that, I want to remind you guys to hit up that super chat. You got a burning question or a comment, or if you just want to, rattle up the cages a little bit of not just me, just everybody tuning in. We're going to talk about it on the chat. If you hit up that super chat because you guys are super awesome. And together we will make sure this show is amazing. We make sure this show's amazing, it's because we just overall care about the overall product and the content that we share on the GSMC Sports Network. We definitely love each and every one of our fans, 1,010% people who subscribe. You could definitely subscribe to me. If you are, if you're a new wrestling fan, it's perfect. I talk about reviews and previews, and I talk about major news wrestling, get into it, analysis, predictions, and we just have fun. We just have fun on this podcast, 1,010%. So yeah, once again, it helps us, kind of keep the lights on in terms of keeping the podcast alive, keeping the network going. We definitely need you guys. We love you guys. We are so thankful for each and every one of you guys. Obviously, we wouldn't be anywhere without you guys. But overall, hit up that super chat, hit up those super stickers because you guys are super awesome. Hit up that $ below the chat box and send in your comment or question, and it's be guaranteed to be on the show. So let's do it. Let's make this show bigger. Let's make this show better, funner, friendlier, and just an overall bombshell. Because, me and you, amazing team, amazing tag team here, man. We're like the angry, we're like the Wild Samoans, 16 times. I'm just kidding. But no, overall, as a tag team, we can kill it. We're going to do great. So make sure you hit up the super chat. Once again, if the super chat is not your thing, I get it. Hit us up at the tips and donations link at the GSMCpodcast.net. Tell me what you like. Tell me what you don't like. Superman punch that like a subscribe button to the show. Follow the show. Follow the network. Here at the GSMC Sports Network, we do love a lot of peace, love, and positivity. But overall, feedback is a gift. Definitely want to hear you guys' honest opinions. And it's going to be great. It's going to be great. All right. So let's go ahead and dive into some of this TNA action we have tonight. Should be pretty badass. Obviously, this is the fallout from from Emergence that happened on Friday. So I thought that was kind of pretty cool. After you saw the system defeat the likes of Mike Santana, Joe Hendry, and the Hardy Boys, it seems like they're kind of getting back on track here. And JDC is a huge reason why this stable's probably going to work. I could believe that you're probably going to see somebody maybe debut in NXT. I would love to see the system. I want to see Moose challenge Obafemi for that NXT North American Championship. And I want to see, I just want to see these guys do great because throughout my tenure watching TNA recently, they've been on the top. They've been on the mountaintop. You had Edwards, Alicia Edwards as well. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of talented superstars that I feel like that could do so well in WWE NXT. And, I think it's just a matter of time. I think 1,010%, it's just a matter of time that we're going to see something like this happen. This collaboration between WWE NXT and TNA is, just kicking off. It's just starting off. But overall, the system is a force to be reckoned with. And it's going to be exciting to see what they do tonight on TNA Impact. Next, we have fresh off of a victory at TNA Emergence, and as well as defeating Ash by Elegance, so that's 3 times. Though, the third time was, tag teaming and stuff like that. But she was able to, the TNA Knockouts World Champion teamed up with Spitfire and destroyed Ash by Elegance, Alicia Edwards, and Masha Slamovich. I watched highlights of this match. I'm not going to lie to you. I watched highlights of this match. And I thought overall it was great. It was super great. She's going to have an open challenge tonight. Also next week on NXT on WWE Week on the USA Network. She's also going to have an open challenge on on NXT next Tuesday. So that should be, pretty darn interesting. We actually have a segment about that moving forward. But yeah, it's I love Jordynne Grace. I love how she's a champion. She's probably the best in women's wrestling right now. But maybe a little under the credit a little bit here. But overall, I think it's great. I think she's doing great. All right, next we will hear from the new X Division champion Zachary Wentz last Tuesday on TNA NXT. You saw him and Trey Miguel win a title, an NXT World Tag Team Championship match with Axiom and Nathan Frazier. Moving forward, I think it was the first on the CW, their first episode that's taking place on October 1st. So, this guy's on fire. This guy's on fire. He defeated Wes Lee. I kind of like that. I kind of love how he defeated Wesley at No Mercy. Because Wesley, the only argument he really had that he thought was, legible and legitimate as hell is that, dude, you come to WWE to soak up all this attention. You're not a WWE superstar. You're a TNA wrestler. And it's, it was, I thought, it was kind of bad. It was kind of bad. I didn't think that they were going to bring that up because I think overall the collaboration maybe might suffer from it. But, so far it seems like having that lingering, thought or ideology, however you like to call it, in the minds of TNA fans as well as NXT fans. I think when these guys meet for the Survivor Series, it's going to be awesome. You're going to see the, kind of like you're going to have Raw versus SmackDown, but then you're going to see TNA take on NXT, where you have Roxanne Perez, Jordynne Grace gets her hands on her once again. Maybe you see, ABC take on the Rascals. It'd be kind of crazy to be like, the Rascals, you're TNA superstars, but you're representing NXT with their titles. That could happen as well. And I just think it'd be badass. I would freaking love Dolph Ziggler, or Nick Nemeth comes back to WWE after he was kind of treated like crap. He was being talked down to by Vince McMahon, Pat Patterson, Jared Briscoe constantly backstage. According to reports, of course. I'm not just making this stuff up. Nick Nemeth taking on Ethan Page, or even maybe somehow, some way, Joe Hendry gets that title, which I feel like they desperately need a champion that's kind of more in your face than Ethan Page. I love kind of how Ethan Page is at this moment, where he's constantly being at the right place at the right time, where he kind of comes in, hands behind his back, and he's like, so Ava, what do you think about that? Like, what I mean? He's just this antagonist. He's this jerk that, like, he's always right. And like, I don't know, it's just I think he's doing a great job. But overall, I feel like if WWE wants to expand over the CW network, which isn't really thriving, but for NXT, I feel like that's kind of great. If Raw or SmackDown was like, hey, you're going to the CW, it's kind of like, dude, what did I do? Who did I screw over? Why, like, you know what I mean? But no, overall, I just think it's kind of great. Zachary Wentz is an amazing superstar. I was kind of bummed out that Speedball, Mike Bailey didn't get the victory, because I loved it when he beat Mustafa Ali. But, it is what it is. It is what it is. All right, so next we have Kushida and the Laredo Kid tonight as well, going one-on-one. Two of the hottest TNA X Division stars are going to go at it. Kushida recently returned. And the Laredo Kid, he's been within that X Division for quite some time here. So there's no doubt in my mind that maybe he's going to be able to kind of build up some momentum to challenge Zachary Wentz for that X Division championship. Next, we have Eric Young taking on Jake something that I love and respect about Eric Young is that he's kind of been with TNA thick and through the bad, through the ugly. So you got to respect that. Moose will tag with JDC against Mike Santana and say his name, man. He appears. I believe in Joe Hendry. Bah, bah. But no, it's going to be a great match. Overall, it's going to be an amazing match. Can't wait to see it. And yeah, all right, moving on to Ring of Honor. We have a one-on-one match between Katsuyori Shibata and the Premier Athletes Josh Woods. I love Shibata. Shibata is an amazing superstar. You kind of have him, in this mix between Taz, Hook, and also, Samoa Joe's, he's been written off. He's filming Twisted Metal 2, Season 2, where he's, oh my God, I keep forgetting his character name. Damn it. Oh my God. Sure. When I think, randomly it'll pop up and be like, oh my God, crazy. But it should be a good match. Katsuyori Shibata is definitely one of the most promising wrestlers, that New Japan Professional Wrestling's ever really had. Kind of reminds me of like this, kind of like a young Kazuokata. Well, not really young because he's, kind of, I feel like he's going to get a shot. He's going to get a shot as, he's a former peer champion. So I definitely think he's gonna, kill it. He's gonna do well. Laredo Kid, Taya Valkyrie versus RevPro, undisputed British Women's Champion Mina Shirakawa. I'm all in with Mina Shirakawa. I think she's great. 1,010%. She's definitely one of my favorite superstars on AEW because she's just so damn unpredictable. She's like that. She's like she could be a baby face. Oh my God, she could be a baby face. She can just, bat those eyes at you and you'd be like, oh my God, like, and then she can all of a sudden stab someone in the back and you're like, holy shit, holy crap, I like this as well. But overall, I feel like it's great for Mina Shirakawa. This match is going to be great. She's definitely gonna continue this dominance. Next, we have a tag team bout. We have the Spanish announced Project Angelico and Serpentico going up against the Iron Savages, Bronson and Boulder. Bronson and Boulder, I really haven't seen much of a kind of reminds me of Heavy Machinery, where they're too damn big and too damn like forceful to be like, look, like, kind of like where you see WWE and Braun Strowman, Bronson Reed, when Keith Lee was doing his thing, when the Big Show was back in the WWF Attitude Era. Some of these guys are too big and so dominant to be like, can these guys really have a good match? But overall, I think they do. I think they do. So I think this match is going to be great. Next, we have a one-on-one. Aaron Solo takes on Rocky Romero tonight on Ring of Honor. Kuhan Angelo Parker takes on Griff Garrison tonight as well. Also, we have a full card. Nick Camarado take on Big Shot Lee Johnson. Fuego de Sol will take on Dark Order John Silver. Lance Archer and the Righteous are going to be in trios combat. Abaddon in action, Anthony Hendry and Beef in tag team competition. Premier Athletes Aria Davari and Tony Nese is also in action. Rachel Ellinger hopes to bounce back from her loss against Mina Shirakawa last week. And it's just, so much more Ring of Honor. So make sure, on, I think it's Honor Club TV. I don't want to be wrong, but I think they have a YouTube thing as well you can sign into. But it's great. Ring of Honor right now is on fire. So, definitely go check that out. All right, next we're going to talk about Jordynne Grace's overall NXT. No, wait, no, I was going to say, I was like, wasn't that my fourth segment? Jumping the gun here. I'm leaving you guys, little breadcrumbs, giving you guys cliffhangers. So make sure you stay tuned for segment 4. Segment 3, though, we're going to talk about TNA Emergence. I'm going to give you my reaction as soon as we come back. So, hey, do not go anywhere.